again, we are in the non-Mendelian inheritance pattern, so the exception from the dominant and the recessive, and we already covered these three main examples. So we are done with that one, and now we are going to move into one that is very interesting, that are the polygenic traits. And again, poly means many, poly means many, and genic is origin. Remember, this so are traits that have multiple origins, or in this case, multiple genes are involved in producing this phenotype. Now we're going to talk about the polygenic traits, and here you can find three examples of polygenic traits. Eye color, and we will watch a cool video about the how the blue color appear in the eyes. That is very interesting. And another example of a polygenic trait will be the height, and another example of a polygenic trait will be the skin color. So remember, polygenic traits are produced for more than one pair of genes and result in a variety of phenotypes, as you can see in all these three cases. And here are the three examples that we just discussed. And very important, here you cannot make a Punnett square. We will study Punnett squares that are bigger than 4 boxes. Later we will see one of 16, and maybe we can make one with 3 alleles of 64. But there is a point that if you have 100 genes, the Punnett square will be too big, and some of them there will be an interaction. It will be too complicated. So in this case, we cannot have Punnett squares. And this I will, although there is no Punnett square, I will ask you some of these questions for the test. Okay, so now we finish all these 4 examples. So these are done, and now we are going to move to one that is very interesting, that is connected to the next topic of the following lecture. And you will see why we're going to study one thing that was very important to study: fruit flies. So fruit flies were key because they showed that when they started studying genetic and studying fruit flies, they found that the genetic information was located not only in the nucleus, in eukaryotic, but also in particular in the chromosomes. And they find it using studying sex-linked traits and sex-linked traits, and we're going to use some examples. I'm going to show you some examples that later we will study in more detail in the following lecture with Thomas Morgan. So sex-linked traits are traits that are found on either of the chromosomes that determine sex or the sex chromosomes. And so in humans, for example, we have an X and a Y chromosome. And I will show you a video that show how complex are those traits. Yeah, that always that we talk about sex in genetics. Possibly in high school they taught us that it was very simple to determine sex. However, what we have seen studying multiple model organisms and even humans is that this definition of sex is more complicated than we previously expect. And it's a pretty cool video. I hope that you enjoy it. And I'm going to put it right now, and then I will keep talking about sex-linked traits.